Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Beyond Earth 2. And really, this episode can be summed up to Paul likes to argue in the comment section of YouTube videos. And I am so excited to go through this today. Paul, will you tell us more about what we're doing?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a very specific kind of video, and maybe I like kind of the intellectual jousting part of it, but these videos make allegations. Now, for the most part, the scamtuber allegation videos dropped off about 2.5 years ago. Obviously, with all the improvements, all the progress, all the updates on Earth 2, a lot of their claims just became nothing. A nothing burger, as Callum would like to say. It's not insolvent. They are building stuff, resources, the token drop. All of these things have come to pass when they said it never would. Now, this guy in particular, he's a baby scamtuber. He's definitely trying to jump on the scamtuber bandwagon and maybe get a few likes and maybe stir up a bit of controversy, get some more subscribers and stuff. I think you called it clout chasing in the comments, because I've noticed you in the comment section too. Explain to us what clout chasing is.
Oh yeah, it's just when people jump on a popular subject. If you maybe we'll chalk it up to easy to attack, just to get some of those followers who want to hear that type of stuff. And this guy went from what, Roblox, Minecraft videos to now he wants to jump into the ScamTube section by copying 3-year-old work. So it's
Sure. I mean, you definitely get that vibe that he's copied someone's homework, but unfortunately for him, that person didn't study either. So let's take a look at the video in question. He's called it the biggest scandal in gaming history. He's put the obligatory clickbait, "They lied," across the front of the video. But let's have a listen and see what you think.
It's a scam run by a delusional basement gnome who got rich in crypto thinking he can do anything, but never shows anything.
All right, let's stop there. Right off the bat, he's using Reddit comments, little toxic Reddit comments, as the basis for his video. Now, Shane may have got rich in crypto. I've certainly never heard anything about that. I don't know if you have. It's just speculation on this part. And he never shows anything. You can see here in the date that this comment is a year old as well. So he hasn't been able to find new stuff. He's literally dug back through Reddit threads to find anything he can use against Earth 2. Now, to say that he never shows anything, on the E2 page, there's actually 28 videos, including devlogs, game mechanics, deep dives into articles, skins, terrain engines, tech demos, trailers, live streams, and dev updates. So to say he never shows anything, I kind of feel like it's not quite factually correct. What do you think, Robin?
Yeah, you kind of said it all. What I'm thinking there is we start this video with a comment that's over a year old, and to say they haven't showed anything besides bringing a product to the Game Developer Conference, launching their crypto token, showing 20 to 30 videos in the last 6 months alone. It's we're off to a great start.
Yeah, let's continue.
It is one of the biggest scale scams out there. Stay as far as you can from the so-called project.
All right, project doesn't actually have a negative connotation. A project is something that you're building, and obviously Earth 2 has been in progress for a long time. If we scroll back a little, let's look at this particular comment. It's one of the biggest scale scams out there. Check somebody else's YouTube video. Now, that's exactly what this guy did. Stay as far away from it as you can. If we look down a little lower, we can see here some of the comments are, "Never looked into it, but this right here sounds extremely scammy." So, never did any research. He's obviously in very good company with this guy, Fentanyl.
I love the use of quotations here, too. When you add quotations to the thing, it makes it seem nefarious. Like, Fentanyl is a YouTuber who uses evidence. It's just, the quotations alone add a whole different line to it.
A new dimension. Let's continue.
Earth 2 is a virtual version of planet Earth, a 1-to-1 digital replica split into 5.1 trillion land tiles, each measuring 100 square meters.
Okay, 10 by 10 meters. It has, like, you can see that he's taken this from a 3-year-old video, because we all know they're 19.08 meters squared, and they have been for years. He really has not done his homework here, but he sounds believable. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about, right?
Yeah, that's true. As you said, he's copy and pasting somebody else's homework. We've known about these new tile sizes since 2022. You can actually check out the explanation on the Earth2 YouTube page. It was like vlog 8. So you can check out. It tells you about the EcoSim tile size. It's really cool.
Users can purchase these tiles for real-world cash as an investment in hopes of the value increasing. Earth 2 was originally delivered to be a massive online MMO game.
We're going to stop there again, because Earth 2 was never delivered to be an MMO game. It was always a metaverse platform, and the fact that it develops in a different path than a traditional MMO game is because it's not one. So, you know, this kind of argument that, oh, it should look like a traditional MMO is actually invalid. It's not an MMO. It's got a lot of different aspects like retail, training, events. It's got an eco-sim built into it. It's not going to look the same simply because it's not the same. What do you think?
You know, he started with tiles can be purchased in the hopes of them increasing. And I think that goes back to starting this whole misleading narrative. Sure, they could be, but maybe they were purchased in hopes of building a base to explore with your friends. Maybe you wanted to build a city. Maybe you wanted to buy your neighbor's land so you could wake up every morning, make eye contact, and say, get off my lawn. Who knows why? So why add that narrative to begin with? And then what you said, when it comes to the whole MMO game narrative thing he was driving, I mean, they've specified many times that they are a metaverse, and they are not just a game. And this would not have been hard to tell if you actually looked into the project, again, rather than copy and paste somebody's homework. The narrative has been pretty consistent for years.
Users could use their purchased plots of land to build and create anything they imagined. Since the terrain was going to be an exact replica of Earth, you could alter anything into something you wish could have happened in the real world. You are a mayor with an unlimited budget.
Hang on. Unlimited budget? I don't know about that. Everybody has a budget and they have a level that they're comfortable investing. I'm not sure this kid really understands investing, because they put money into it hoping the prices would rise. I mean, isn't that really the purpose of investing? You're not throwing your money away. You're not burning your money. You're hoping that, you know, it will increase in value over time. Maybe you're just land banking, looking to invest money. And certainly there are a lot of players who just put money into it and they won't look at it for a couple of years until it increases, and then they'll sell. Other people have plans to open shops, run events. Maybe they were mega cities, all of these things. Like, there's lots of different players here and lots of different ways of earning or utilizing the platform. He's making it very black and white. Oh, there's only one or two ways of doing things. It's actually false.
Yeah, and when it goes back to that mayor with an unlimited budget, you know, one of the things they attack about this platform is that it has a real virtual economy funded by real dollars. So is it or isn't it? Are we mayors with unlimited budgets, or is it a real virtual economy where people are silly and throwing their money away? You know, pick a side, fentanyl.
When the trailer for Earth 2 released, many people became interested in the project and were eager to invest. This would quickly shift as skepticism for the company's legitimacy would begin to surface. Earth 2 was planned to release in 3 phases. The first being a period where players can buy and trade their purchased land with other users. Phase 2 would introduce a feature where plots of land would give certain resources. These resources would be used later on to allow you to build stuff on your plot. The final phase is what actually drove people to invest in Earth 2, the actual game. But after almost 4 years since its release in 2020 and hundreds of millions of pieces of land being sold, the developers are still on phase 1.
Okay, hang on a sec. they're not on phase 1. It's on phase 2. Resources have been released. In fact, we had a staking mechanism for resource claims. It's not as simple as just collecting resources. They are tied to real world locations around the planet. You have to provide evidence. It was a great opportunity to flip up and earn essence by staking on it. It actually says there in the thing, I mean, he's very keen to kind of blur things out, as you'll notice later on in this video, and he blurs out what's not relevant to his argument. He tries to hide things, but it's said there when resources are released, and they have been released. We've had a whole mechanism around them, so they're not still on phase 1. I'm afraid that's a fail, an F right there.
That is definitely an F. This phase language is years old as well. And again, it looks like he's taking old screenshots from somebody else's video. They aren't anything you'd find on the site today. And as you said, we are definitely not in phase 1. We're getting resources. They're being accumulated. Can't use them yet, but still another misleading false statement.
It is evident from the start how the developers had no intentions on actually following through with the MMO.
Hang on. This is the kind of statement that I love to challenge in the comments. It's evident from the start. Well, where is this evidence? People keep making these things. It's obviously a scam. It's obviously this. It's a Ponzi scheme. But where's the evidence for it? Like, how did you form this opinion? Where did you get the facts that you base this on? I don't know about you, Robin, but if I form an opinion on something, I like to do research and find out about it. I don't like to be spoon-fed my opinions by YouTubers who haven't done their research.
I'm kind of a lazy researcher myself, but once you start to say things like it's clear the developers never had any intentions, how? And you got to be careful there, because once you say things like that, even if you ignore that they brought a playable product to the game developer conference, they've been releasing all these things, including their white paper, their essence token, and everything else that shows progress. When you say it's clear that they never had any intentions, you start to enter that defamation territory, because you're saying and you're repeating and your whole thing is showing false information over and over again that's easily proven false. So that's a hard line to walk, Fentanyl. Be careful.
100%. And I think, he has a false sense of security here because there is a period of time where you're able to lodge a defamation case. There's a statute of limitations on it, and it's a year. Now, Earth 2 was 3 years earlier in development when all these allegations came out. So we have actually passed the statute of allegations. We couldn't prosecute them now. But his allegations are new. He's just released this video a few weeks ago. So if Earth 2, who now have a law firm on retainer, wanted to prosecute someone for, slander, for libel, for defamation, they could 100% come after him and make an example of him. And to be honest, I kind of wish they would.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just an alcoholic. But if it's a scam company that's paying out millions and millions in withdrawals, they're not doing a very good job at it.
But instead, grabbing people's cash and hoping they forget about it. When people invested money into this project, they assumed they could walk away with more money than they invested with. In Earth 2, there are a couple of ways of making money. Your land value increasing, and their super shady referral system. All
right, I'm going to stop him there again. Super shady referral system. Now, this is the kind of smear tactic that you're going to see a lot of. A lot of scamtubers use this. Now, in reality, there are a myriad of gaming companies that use referral code programs that reward you, whether it's financial, whether it's within the game, whether it's game items, and it's not just gaming companies. You've got gaming code companies. You've got gaming chair companies. In fact, it is considered best practice. It's 4 times more effective to use referral codes and affiliate programs than traditional marketing. So if millions of companies, I mean, everyone uses this, from banks to mobile companies to, my booking platform uses referral codes and rewards. If millions of companies worldwide use referral programs and affiliate marketing as best practice, why is it dodgy when E2 does it?
And just the way he started, when he said, when people invested in this project, they assumed they could walk away with more money. That's another nothing burger. That's me in stocks. I assume when I buy a stock, it'll go up, but it doesn't always go up. I am a bad investor, though. Maybe that's why I buy virtual land. In addition to that, land and referral is not the only way to make money on Earth 2. I don't want to be an Earth 2 shill, but we can sell jewels, resources, skins eventually, and all this other stuff. So to say that's the only way to make money, it's still another way showing me that you, Fentanyl, are not doing your research.
Yes, 100%. It's coming from complete ignorance of the topic. I mean, it kind of reminds me of a commie chef on his first day in the kitchen, and he's trying to tell the head chef how to cook. Like, he doesn't actually know what he's talking about, but he's presenting this really confident, oh, this is how it is, this is how it goes, there's only this, there's only that. But actually, he doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. Let's continue.
Each tile from the start costed 10 cents. The prices increased depending on the demand for that specific tile. If I own a tile of the Empire State Building, that might draw a couple of people to buy it off of me. But if I own a random tile in the middle of the desert, it might not increase its value at all.
Well, again, kind of untrue. If that tile is in the desert of the same country, the prices go up together. So, if you buy in New York City and somewhere out in the middle of the Arizona desert, it's going to be the same price, because the price of tiles is determined by the algorithm. As one tile price rises, then so do all. Now, obviously, some places that are popular tourist destinations, the Eiffel Tower, the pyramids, the White House, they may be more desirable. And certainly we've seen sales $50,000, $100,000 for these kind of places. And obviously people are hoping that they will utilize them later, or they'll be worth more even later. But we don't actually know, because all man-made stuff is going to be wiped out. Maybe they will be. When people come onto a metaverse platform, they're going to look for maybe spaces that they know, familiar landmarks, and so you could use that to funnel people into your property for whatever game, event, retail store you're planning to run there. Or maybe you just want people to land on your property for some reason, for advertising. There's many ways to earn money within the E2 platform, and you'd know that if you did any research.
And as a buyer of virtual tiles, because I'm addicted, I have a problem. I don't know why. That's neither here nor there. You can't just if your goal is to buy a tile with the sole intention of reselling it, and you decide to buy in a Waffle House parking lot, and then you wonder why it doesn't sell. Why would I buy this single tile in a Waffle House parking lot when I could buy the Waffle House building where they do all the cooking, huh? There's little things like that that mean things to people who are buying. So it's a little more complicated.
There's also elements of resources. So that tile in the middle of the desert could have some rare resource. So actually it's worth more.
Very similar to the highly successful NFTs, this is not going to last a very long time. The price might peak at some point, but Earth 2 will become so obscure insanely fast that no one will even be interested in buying them.
Okay. Now, he's doing a comparison to, the Bored Ape Yacht Club and NFTs, and certainly there was a boom there. There seems to be a very, an antipathy towards NFTs, but NFTs are really just a digital ledger, a way of recording ownership or changes that have been made to it. It's much more secure. Obviously, it's the early days of this, but in the end, your car will be an NFT, your house will be registered as an NFT, it will hold all the information on what updates you've done, when it was bought, when it was sold, if you added onto it. I don't really understand the antipathy towards NFTs, but the Bored Ape Yacht Club was someone that got in very early and created this and rode the kind of wave. Now, he shows in this video the peak and the drop, and you can see later on here, he's going to tell us that people who invested in this, it was a terrible investment. But what he's neglecting to say is that most people bought this at $100 and it went up to $300,000. Now, obviously, some people bought in at the top, probably celebrities like Justin Bieber. And then when it dropped to $40,000, then, it's still something you paid $100 for. So whether you sold it at 250,000, 300,000, or now you're down to selling it at 40,000. These are the natural ebbs and flows of the crypto, the NFT market, of Web3. These are the bull and bear markets, which it seems he has actually no conception of.
So I'm a Web3 skeptic. I can't even spell NFT. But where I come from here, it's starting to sound like a hit piece. He said, but Earth 2 will become so obscure insanely fast that nobody will be interested in buying them. And I don't know where you get off making that assessment, but also the goal isn't to price people out like the Bored Ape Yacht Club you're about to make. I assume that you're about to make here. That's not the goal. The goal here is to have easy, accessible tiles should people want to build for many years to come. You can still jump on the platform and buy a single tile for as little as 10 cents or even less probably. And that should be the way it operates for years to come based on the way they do their tiling system. So I don't know, the idea is that everybody that wants to buy a tile needs to sell it at a higher price or even wants to. That seems to be the way you're angling this. I don't know if that's necessarily what's going on.
Take the Bored Ape Yacht Club, for example. Originally sold for a couple $100, then when literally everyone on the internet was talking about NFTs, it peaked at $300,000. And then when people realized how dumb of an investment these are, it has now dropped to $40K and has been declining in price ever since.
So there you go. Jumped from 100 to 300, now it's down to 40K. I don't know about you, Robin, but if I invested $100 into something and I could still sell it today at 40,000, I wouldn't necessarily be calling it a bad investment. But you see this kind of graph that he's doing here. It's a kind of line graph. So I'm going to share an image here that shows much more representative of what's actually going on within it. It shows the peaks and troughs here, and I'll pop that up here. And oh no, sorry, that's Bitcoin. Same peaks, same drops. Actually, let's look at another image here. Oh, that's the entire crypto space. Up and down, bull and bear markets. It's a kind of natural progression. It's not to say that Bored Apes won't rise again. You can't make that prediction. Maybe it'll crash and burn. Who knows? But they were early within the NFT space, and there definitely was a bubble, and there definitely was hype, and so it rose in value. But anything you bought at $100 that you can sell at 40K, I would not be calling a bad investment.
Fentanyl. I'm a dumb guy. I don't like talking about the money aspect of it. I hate it. But this is a dumb argument to make, man. I'm going to coach you. If you're going to show something starting at 100 and then it went as high as 300K and then it went down to 40K, that's still a lot of money, man. That's a crazy amount of money. Imagine I bought Facebook stock at $100 and right now it's at $500 a share, but then it goes down to $300 a share when I wasn't ready for that. It's still hundreds of dollars more than I bought it. That is a terrible example, Fentanyl. Do better.
When you look at NFTs, there's a limited stock. Once all of them sell, the prices are manipulated insanely high. When you compare it to Earth 2, where there is over 5 trillion tiles, there is zero demand and no one will pay an insanely high markup when I could buy tiles right next to it for insanely cheap.
Now, hang on. Zero demand. Again, it's one of these statements that's made without any factual basis. Now, I'm going to pull up an image here where I've clicked onto a property, and you can see it's a property that I own. I just randomly picked one out, and you can see that it's been sold about 7 times before I got it. You know, the property was sold 8 times before I bought it. 8 times, 8 different players. So to say that there's no demand, if you go onto the Earth 2 website, not only can you see that over 122 million tiles have been sold across all the tiers, but over 2 million bids have been made in the player-to-player marketplace, and over 380,000 of them have been rejected. So to say that there's no demand, people are going, no, I don't actually want to sell that property, and millions of bids are being made. So again, it's a false, baseless statement. You know, he's probably spent 0 time on the platform. He's watched a video and he's literally trying to make some content on it, cash in on the scamtuber vibe.
Since its release, people were really fast to call it a scam. Over half the employees that work and develop for Earth 2 do not have a LinkedIn profile, showing no evidence of previous experience.
Hang on. Now, this is something that was also done in the early days, although he's actually using more recent pictures to do it. But the claim itself came from an earlier scamtuber video. So the fact that they have not yet linked some of the new staff. I know Shane was in earlier in Discord saying that they've hired 8 more staff recently, and they've got ads up for about 4 more senior devs and stack devs and all that, and you can go in and have a look at them. But just because somebody hasn't linked their LinkedIn profile, or maybe doesn't even have a LinkedIn profile, proves what? I ran nightclubs and DJ'd all around the world for over 10 years, right? None of that's on my LinkedIn profile. Does that mean it never happened? You know, these kind of vague assertions of guilt, or, oh no, they've got loads of people working on it, but those people have absolutely 0 experience. I mean, it's a rubbish argument. It really is.
I mean, I get where he's coming from, though, right? Like, team pages are supposed to establish credibility and show that there's actual people working on a project, especially when it comes to crowdfunding. But here's the thing for me, and I don't know if this is why, but early on, when they first had a team page, those team members were attacked relentlessly. Anytime they released a video, these guys and their followers would go and they reach out to Unity developers and go, hey, did you know so-and-so is using your asset in a scam project? Little did they know they were reaching out to an Earth 2 developer through that Unity site. So we see things like that, and when they dig up dirt on people and they attack their credibility and say, I see all those work experience, but that's not enough to build what you said, and then you label the project a scam after attacking and stalking the other people and looking for dirt where you could and reaching to them in their personal life, you know, there's going to be a little reluctancy by the next group of people who join a supposed scam project to also undergo that same wrath. And then even in the wildest situations, we've heard rumors of some of these guys' followers attempting to join the project to sabotage it from within because they're the good guys, apparently. Jesus Christ.
It is so insanely evident that Earth 2 is just a cash grab. You may jump the gun and call me a hater, but just listen.
You know, what bothers me here is, well, I mean, you know, first, Earth 2 is grabbing my cash, but he says it's insanely evident that Earth 2 is just a cash grab. He's had over 3 minutes in this video to show evidence so far, and he hasn't. So does that mean for the next minute and 54 seconds, we're going to see the evidence as to how it's just a cash grab? I am excited, Fentanyl. Show me the information, baby.
They're trying to save us from E2, but none of us are asking to be saved from it. We follow the project a lot more closely than you do. Your cursory glance at it and your decisions on it are not based on the kind of research that we have done. With money invested in it, you absolutely are paying attention to what's going on. If you've watched a YouTube video on it where somebody's made an assertion that, oh, it's definitely a scam. I mean, I'm going to give you an example like you did, Robin. We originally had PayPal to pay out withdrawals, right? And because of all these scamtuber allegations, lots of people were doing chargebacks on PayPal for their E2 purchases. Now, when that happens, PayPal goes into an automatic lockdown, seizes or freezes the funds, and then Earth2 actually carried the payment themselves. While those funds were held, they stopped that method by panicking everyone, by fear-mongering that it was a scam, that they'd lost their money. So they initiated this whole chargeback system, which triggered a response, and then they went, see, proven, PayPal has dropped them as a provider. But they actually started that happening and then used it as proof to determine E2 is a scam. So it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
You know, beyond that, though, some of these team members were receiving death threats and things. And then you add that to scamtubers trying to encourage people to exploit this site because they said they found vulnerabilities. Just the attacks that they suffered as a new business was absolutely profound. I can't believe anybody could survive that.
They've done so many things that trigger red flags in people who have common sense, such as not allowing people to withdraw their money if they did not like what they were investing into.
Exactly what you were saying. Not allowing people to withdraw if they didn't like what they invested into. His words, that is entirely inaccurate. If you want to withdraw, simply sell whatever it is you bought to another player and then click the button. If you're saying they should be able to, at any time, tell Earth2, nah, I changed my mind, give me my money back. That's not how businesses work, Fentanyl. If anybody could make a withdrawal at any time, how do they pay expenses? You know, there's a certain expectation here, but you can at any time sell your stuff to another player and then press that withdraw button. It's totally an option. And when it works smooth, it's fast. But, you know, right now there's a little compliance thing going on, so there's that.
If you were the lucky few to invest and actually sell your plot of land to someone who is less intelligent than you are.
This is a common thing. Someone that is less intelligent than you are. So, I mean, over the years in the attacks, we've been called morons. We've been called all kinds of things. We're involved in some kind of sunk cost fallacy where we have too much invested that we cannot see the truth. Now, this argument intrigues me because I have money invested in multiple things. Just because I have money invested in something does not mean I cannot be objective about that. In fact, I'm probably more objective about it because I'm invested in it. So this kind of argument that we can't see things, only people who are dumber than you are going to buy property off you, where you can clearly see the properties are being traded all the time. Sometimes, as I showed earlier, bought 8 times before I bought that property. There's properties moving around. Sometimes they're going up in value. Sometimes people are needing cash, wanting to buy another property. They're willing to take a loss on it, or maybe they bought it low, they're selling it high, and it looks like a loss off the new land value. He clearly has no understanding of the mechanics of the Earth2 platform.
Withdrawing this money is not as simple as it seemed. Users who wished to withdraw were asked to provide an unnecessary amount of information, including your full name, current address, account name, email address, your bank account name, bank account number, your phone number, photo ID, and proof of residence. So they require you to share a utility bill as proof of address. They say this is to prevent fraud, but you cannot tell me that they are not doing something fishy behind the scenes with all this information that you gave them.
Okay, well, he's kind of mixing a few things up here. Now, he's talking about when Earth 2 used to do wire transfers after they had to stop the PayPal thing. And so they started doing wire transfers. Now, I don't know if you've ever gotten international wire transfer, but I have. And I'm going to show up on the screen my company, through a referral affiliate program, has referred a few studios for a booking platform that we use, and they pay me by international wire transfer. Now, on the screen, you're going to see here that they ask me for a whole load of information. Now, does that make them dodgy? Because this is the information you need to make a wire transfer. Now, at the beginning, they messed up one of the details, and so the wire transfer bounced a couple of times until they got all the details right. It's not Earth 2 asking for this information. It's the bank insisting that that information is provided to them, because otherwise it's not going to work. Now, he's grouped that in with the information that you need to do KYC. So you have to prove who you are, where you live, and a utility bill is one of the common ways of doing that. Now, KYC, I get it, right? He's obviously has no experience with this. And there was a point about 5 or 6 years ago where I was going to invest in Ethereum. And Ethereum was at that point, I think, $250. So it would have been a really good investment. But I didn't know about KYC. And it was asking me for my passport and a utility bill and the credit card details and all this stuff. And I got fearful about it. So I get it. Right? Being asked for that kind of information can elicit this kind of fear, especially if you don't know anything about it. But I missed out on that opportunity, and Ethereum now is like 3,200. So that little bit of fear and that little bit of ignorance on my part caused me to miss out massively. And that's the same kind of thing here. You actually have to be compliant as a Web3 platform to avoid money laundering, drug shifting, all these kind of things. You have to have KYC. So the fact that he's not used to it, or, it was a dumb allegation when it was made 3 years ago. It was made by somebody who's never made an international wire transfer. It's even dumber now since it's 3 years since E2 did wire transfers.
No. First, the screenshot you use here is like 3 years old. So again, stop it. Second, apparently paying people in every country ever is complicated, and that is to be seen, right? But even on the website now, there's betas for people just to link their cards so they can pay them directly that way. And again, if they're paying millions of dollars since inception to other players, clearly something is working here. And I know we're acting like we're explaining this to you, but you don't care. But this is for other people, not you.
Another shady method they're using is selling skins and buildings for a game that has never existed.
A game that has never existed. It's a metaverse platform that's been in development for years. We actually do have gameplay already through raiding, resourcing. We have multiple marketplaces. We have gameplay demo at the GDC. He's making these statements as if they're fact, and they're completely baseless. If he was to take this into court and to say, no, it's not actually libel or slander or defamation, I can prove that they never intended to build a game. They haven't released anything in 4 years. There was no intention. There is no playable game. He just couldn't do it.
In addition to this, the whole argument has been set up as just an investment. But to me, it's not just an investment, right? I love gaming. I love skins. I love all that stuff. So when I go into Sea of Thieves, or I go into RuneScape, or I go into Elder Scrolls Online, and I buy skins, and I buy virtual houses, and I buy things for platforms I plan to use, I don't ever think, how am I going to get my money back? How am I going to sell that skin to the next person? This is more than just an investment for me. It's something I'm going to spend a lot of time on, and I hope it to be the thing I engage with for lots of time. So I would stop phrasing it as just an investment, you know?
The most likely reason why they are releasing all of these cosmetics and buildings before the game has even launched is because they are going to underdeliver on the game, and once people see what has been created and delivered, they will no longer be interested in the project. Take the money from them before they realize it's not worth investing in.
I mean, he must have some kind of crystal ball that he can see into the future. It feels like he's trying to speak for E2 players, but we're E2 players and we're happy with the progress. We like the skins. They sell out in minutes. I missed those, the gun skins earlier on today. I was gutted. Right, and I'm hoping that they do a quick kind of different release. Yeah, coming soon, and I will jump on it instantly. They've actually just introduced the whole essence for skins as well, so you're not even having to spend money on it. Now, if they were just a cash grab and they were just trying to maximize as much money as they could get because the game was going to be underwhelming, and I mean, he's making all these suppositions and speculations, but he hasn't got a shred of evidence to back up his opinion. And I can say that at least he's being entirely consistent with that.
You know, he said it's clearly evident that they never intended to deliver. That was the start of the video. Now, at the end of the video, they're going to deliver, but it's going to be underwhelming. Frankly, that looks cool. And if you're playing Minecraft or Roblox or whatever game you play, Fentanyl, that looks a little better, right? Can we say that? That's fair. And in its infancy. So what is the argument here, man? And that was kind of what we see with the scamtuber narrative to begin with. They said they're never going to deliver a damn thing. And then as time progressed, okay, so it looks like they're working on stuff actually, but it's not going to be fun. And then once we get a product out there, it's going to be, well, it's not Ready Player One. And my response to that's going to be yet.
Since its release, we have only seen a small trailer of what is to come, and I'm being completely honest here, it looks like a free asset flip off of Unity. It does not look good.
Okay, another, absolutely copied statement. I mean, he says there's only one being, he's blurred out here the other images of E2 videos, and he's distorted the image and he's highlighted just one. Now, this is a theme, a recurring theme through this video. He is trying to distort things to create a very specific narrative. If you look closely, you can still see through the blurring that those are all E2 videos. And that's not even all the E2 videos that are out there. There's actually 28 videos on that page. But according to him, there's only one video in the last 4 years, a short video, that looks like a Unity asset flip. Well, it is built on Unity, and we have Unity developers designing it, but you can see in the last one where we showed Anubis or Kefera that, there's a lot of design and time and effort gone into those skins. You can see the background images are actually really crystal clear. I think we should play a section of the Earth 2 video just to see what he's talking about. Like, it's obviously a free asset flip from Unity. Well, I mean, goddamn, they're looking bloody good for a free asset flip. And why is nobody else producing something of that quality?
Fentanyl, I know you said to be completely honest, it looks like some Unity asset flip. To be completely honest, I don't think you're a fucking developer. It looks great to me. I don't see any issue with this. I don't see why. If this, okay, and also, if this was an asset flip, I like those assets. They're doing fine. So I don't know what we're going on about here.
Earth 2 is going to end up nothing more than a forgotten Kickstarter project. The developers will eventually realize their game is in a state so horrible it will be hated and forgotten.
Okay, hang on a minute. Hated and forgotten. Has this guy tapped into his crystal ball again? How does he know that the game's going to be hated and forgotten? It's just getting better and improving over time. We're adding different layers and dimensions. Soon we'll be building buildings, mining resources. We're getting guns and, having mini games within it, retail, advertising, all these elements. I mean, some people are resource barons, some people are jewel crafters, some people are raiders. There's many different aspects of this game. How does he know that it's going to be hated and forgotten? It's just a literal smear. He's got no evidence to back up his opinion at all.
Fentanyl. Hated and forgotten? Jesus. Show me on the doll where Earth 2 touched you. Where is this hate coming from?
Earth 2 was never meant to be a game. It was always meant to be an investment. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Let me know if you want more videos like these, but bye-bye.
And that's the whole point of this video, to create a bit of controversy, to get a like and subscribe, to jump onto the Scamtuber channel. One of the common things that I get presented with when I do try and discuss these things with people in the comment section is, go and watch this other YouTuber's video. And do you think we haven't? When you have money invested in something and somebody comes out and calls it a scam or says there's financial impropriety, they've broken some laws, they've ripped people off, I want to see if there's any validity to those comments. And by and large, there isn't. There's just a load of people harping on and parroting what they've heard. And so because enough people say something does not make a lie true. And even if nobody believes something, that doesn't make the truth a lie either.
You see that, Fentanyl? Paul is a very analytical person, and that's probably why he argues with people in the comment section of YouTube videos. I, on the other hand, I am not. I'm a raging, underachieving alcoholic, and I watched 5 minutes of your video for evidence. You kept using the word evidence, big fancy terms that I can't even say or spell. Yet you showed me nothing, man. You showed me nothing. 5 minutes of nothing. I bring more to the table than that. Do better, Fentanyl. Do better.
Absolutely. It was a nothing burger, if we're going to use a Callum term there. It was just a load of buzzwords, zero evidence. I mean, show me. Show me what law has been broken. Show me what financial impropriety they've caused. Show me one person in the last 4 years who's been ripped off by E2. These are the kind of questions. I mean, I don't think of it so much as arguing in the comment section, more as educating or questioning not their motives, but their opinions. It actually helps me sometimes to create content because then I can counter their ridiculous claims. But I want to understand, what is it that made you think that this is a scam? And I came to an interesting decision that I actually posted on this guy's YouTube channel. If this lack of evidence convinced you that Earth 2 is a scam, like if this is the first time you're hearing about Earth 2 and you watch this video and went, oh, definitely a scam, but he hasn't actually produced any evidence or said anything apart from used a few buzzwords, then my advice to you is, do not invest in Earth 2. Because if you're that easily manipulated against something, you'll be that easily manipulated by a scammer into believing that his project is valid. So do not invest in fact, in anything until you can find someone who has an analytical mind or common sense and ask them their opinion first. You'll be much safer off because there are a lot of scammers out there. It's just not Earth 2.
At the end of the day, man, you copied somebody else's homework. And not only did you copy somebody else's homework, their homework was 3 years old. You could have brought new flair to it. You even used the old screenshots. There was so much to access here. Not only do we get new content, but we get not just on their YouTube page. There's over 20 plus videos that are unlisted that you only see when you're on the platform and you're engaged in it, that we see through the new skins. So To say they haven't delivered anything could be proven false in seconds.
But look, let's look how easy it is to make a smear on someone and make it sound believable and plausible, right? This guy, Fentanyl, it's actually Zental, but I'll let you go with Fentanyl. Yeah, I'll let you go with Fentanyl because it was funnier. He has 24,000 subscribers, supposedly. Let's put it in inverted commas there. Now, you and me have much newer channels, and I have less than 400 subscribers. But when I found this video quite early on. It had only been released a week, and it had 3 comments and 27 likes, with 24,000 subscribers. Now, when I release a video, a week after, it might have 20 comments and 40 likes, but I have less than 400 subscribers. So if you had 24,000 subscribers, I mean, it's obvious that this guy is using what we call bot subbing. So you can just buy subs that fake subscribers, and you can easily tell that this is happening because the lack of engagement. Now, there's actually programs you can run on people's YouTube channels to see if there's fake subscribers there, and I've done one on Fental's channel, and it shows 0.48 engagement out of 24,000 people. So, I mean, it's absolutely seriously evident that he has done bot subscribing on this. He doesn't have 24,000 subscribers at all, and he made this video to try and boost that number again. He's bought them to raise his profile, and then he's created, you know, some kind of controversial scandal. He's been, I mean, originally when we discussed this, you called this lazy reporting, and I couldn't agree more than that. But if you believed that, what I just said, I haven't offered any evidence or proof, but it does sound plausible. And that's how easy it is to smear someone online without the slightest bit of evidence.
I have to say, Paul, that was brilliant. And I think we should end it on that note. That fentanyl buys views. Yeah, baby.
Beautiful. All right. Well, that about wraps it up for us. Peace out, guys. Enjoy, be safe, make informed decisions.
Thank you for joining us on Beyond Earth 2. Take care, guys.
Yeah, there's this boy, he's always on the run, saying everything's a scam, but he's just dumb. He sees a deal, thinks it's too good to be true, but he's crying scam when it's just brand new. Scam, scam, everywhere he goes, but it's all in his head, nobody knows. He's the boy who writes scam, yeah, that's his game, but he's just a clown, it's never the same. He's got trust issues, that's for sure, thinks everyone's out to get him, that's his allure, but deep down inside, he knows it ain't true. He's the boy who cried scam, what can he do? Scam, scam, everywhere he goes, but it's all in his head, nobody knows. He's the boy who cried scam, yeah, that's his game, but he's just a clown, it's never the same. He's got trust issues, that's for sure, thinks everyone's out to get him, that's his allure, but deep down inside, he knows it ain't true. He's the boy who cried scam, what can you do?